I know you guys are waiting for an update on the Mrs. Caddy. I'm almost there. I've just got a couple more bits to paint, a couple more bits to do, and that will be next Friday's video. And literally, I haven't built a Caddy with a colour this popping. I am super keen to see how it is. This week's video, we got a Caddy Maxi to play with, and I'm not sure if I didn't record an intro to it or whether I've deleted it. Overall, I can't find the intro, so this is it. This is future DTE going back in time for the video. We've got a white Caddy Maxi to play with. It's completely bog standard. No messing around with the fancy intro. Let's just get straight into it. This is how it looked when we started, and about an hour and a half later, we have this. Everything's been disassembled. Front bumper off, headlights out, wing mirrors, side trims, all the good stuff. And then, a week later, we have loads of shiny bits. Colour-coded bumpers, gloss black grills, back bumper, side mouldings, Caddy Life mirrors, Caddy Life side rails. If anyone needs Caddy Life side rails or mirrors, check out Julian Green. I will put a link to him in the video description. He posts out the same day. Top seller, would definitely recommend. Mouldings, headlights, rear lights, all the good stuff, all the shiny bits ready to go on. But I need to polish all panels that are old where shiny new white ones are going. White paint can be a pain to matte. Normally, fresh white paint is whiter than what you've put on there. Even though it's the same code, I've gone for the best looking shade, it still might look out. So, a quick polish up where fresh paint meets old paint. I have given the headlights a very, very light tint of blacker. And most of you guys at home and the people I speak to like it. But one of you did not. You actually commented, why do people vandalise their own headlights and tint them? We're all different, mate. If we were all the same, life would be a boring place, right? And that is why all of the caddies we see are slightly different, because everyone puts their own taste on it. Is that in? Yes, I like them. I can see straight through it. A little tint. Oh yeah. Time to see how my white paint fares up. I have done a fog light conversion kit, just in AliExpress kit. Bumper does need to come off again because I haven't wired it in, but I need all that stuff out of my way because I've got something else to play with. Colours are looking all right so far. I'm pleased about. Yes, it is 1% off, but when you're fitting body kit parts, when you're fitting aftermarket parts, unless you're going to start blending the paint up into panels, which you don't, you blend doors but you don't blend bumpers, I'm happy with that. Still need to do the badge, but that looks a lot better. What else we got? Caddy Life mirrors. To fit them, you do need to remove the door card, remove the plastic trim inside, and then there is 3 spline bolts. I need to hook that under that rubber. One moment. If you're playing with a Mark IV, you do need to remove this ribbon from your old mirror. That is the aerial, and on the posher ones, that's the DAB. You need to feed it in through there, plug it in. It's a bit of a wiggle, and I don't believe it has a home. By all means, if I'm doing something wrong, drop it down in the comments. I'm no expert. And to remove the outer trim, you do need to pop the glass out very carefully. Plastic trim tool, pop one corner, the rest will pop off. And then there's 2 screws just inside. These are a must upgrade. Caddy wing mirrors are not very pretty. And if you've got one and can hear a whistling out the window, it's the gap on your old mirror. But that is completely gone. Lovely. Let's get the glass. There is 2 wires for the heated. Julian Green, the seller of these, he sells non-electric, electric and heated. He sells all of them. Again, I'll put the link in the video description. There's a little plastic trim piece that goes in that groove. I'm going to push in the middle. Now it's on. There's another caddy here. How pretty do they look? Rear lights going in. If you're removing caddy headlights, there's two T30s on the inside and then they pop outwards. So now I'm going to pop them back in. Two T30 torques done on the inside. And then we've got these trim pieces. The other side is an absolute nightmare because there's a cable that runs through. It's a case of wiggling the door, shimmying it out. That is done. How does that look? Yeah, good. Apart from 70-mile-an-hour sticker, that needs to come off. Very, very slight tint. Onto the side rail covers. Install the two spire clips supplied in the kit. Fit supplied clip into the back of the rail. I fit 3 layers of double-sided tape. It just helps it. Not everyone does it, but I like to. Have the door almost closed, but not all the way. Pop the back in. I'm going to lift that up. Do the hex 5 bolts up, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift the rail cover up because the weight of it hangs down and it can catch on the hinge on the door, just like so. Bosh. Can't fit a back bumper on my own, so we've got a Skiro, old Dusty.
Oh yeah.
And this is actually the owner's mate. Getting some brownie points for fishing. So it needs to go under the door, Skiro, which is a bit of a wiggle. I'm under. You under the door? Yeah. Okay, that was easy. Bosh. I do need to slide under. And put the parking sensors in. I would have painted them, but they're aftermarket and they're a rubbery texture. Can't paint rubber, so that'll do. That freshens the back end up, doesn't it?
It's lovely. Mint.
Oh, I haven't painted his spoiler. Oh. 2 hours of fitting up, that is what is left. And that is how you disassemble wing mirrors to take the aerials out of. Bit of a pain, but we got there in the end. Just need to fit his side mouldings, and as I've just realised, I now need to paint his spoiler, and I'll probably do his door handles at the same time. Taking a quick break from the video, when I first bought this van, the seller said there was a slight mileage discrepancy. Maybe the mileage has had a haircut. And that brings us to the sponsor of today's video, Carly. It is a OBD dongle you can plug into your vehicle. You can obviously do service reset, fault code finding and all the usual stuff, but it has got a cool feature that allows you to check the history of the mileage. It would help if I had my phone. Let's carry that on, and I'm sure you've guessed, you connect it to your phone. I do have other OBD devices, but they're big, they're bulky. This one is so small and light, it's easy to carry on the go, and it has got coding capabilities, which my other plugins don't do. We're now on the app, and I am just loading up to the vehicle. It's connecting to the scanner, processing vehicle data. Boom, we're in. You are now ready to start. So straight away, you can see there's diagnostics, used car checker, customization, other features. I am going to go straight into used car check. Mileage is Carly check. So let's have a little look. Start your check. Carly check car running. Now, as I say, when I bought this, there was a discrepancy on the mileage. I believe it was 150. Now it's 98. We've not bought it to sell the van, so we're not trying to have anyone over. It's just a case. I would like to know if this is original mileage or it has been turned down. Okay, let's have a look. Carly has detected tampering. Okay, found data points. Let's click on that. Current mileage from dashboard, 158,000 kilometers. So it is definitely saying that there is some tampering notice. Again, I'm not too bothered. I just wanted to know that I wasn't going mad. Customizations. So if you go into customizations, you can change stuff like bulb warning lights, you can turn other features on, you can turn some features off. I know on the older model caddies you can code in the later lights and stuff like that, or tell it bulb warning lights not to recognize them. A very handy bit of kit. With the engine live data, you can have DPF issues. I do see some caddies with DPF light on, and you can run engine live data and you can test what ash content is in the DPF and other stuff like that to help you work out what's going on. Let's just check for issues, and that's going to run a full check on all the systems on the vehicle, engine, ABS, airbag, and we can see what faults there is. And the car is being checked. 2 issues found so far. 66% done so far, and we've got 33 issues. Oh no, 83% and 41 issues. This has had a flat battery, and when you've got a flat battery on a vehicle, it does throw some fault codes up. So my plan is to go into the faults, see what they are. I will delete them, and then I'll check in again in a few days and see what's returned. And that way you know what to fix and what was just historical codes and what are actual codes. Okay, so there is quite a few in central electrics, engine, air conditioning. There is quite a few. So I'm going to clear the issues now, and then I'm going to check again in 2 to 3 days to see what comes back. All the codes are cleared. We do know there is a discrepancy on the mileage, but it's totally fine. Big shout out to Carly for supporting the video today. There is a discount code. I'll put it right below here, and I will put all information in the video description and pinned in the comments. Let's get back to doing this Caddy Maxi, because as soon as that's done, we can get back onto the Mrs. motor. Oh yeah. I'm sure you'll guess, or you saw in the last part of the video, we ended up doing the axle flip and lowering at my event. DTE TV, Only Vans Edition. That was me sign. I am giving this back today, but I just want to check a couple of things. He's a good friend of mine, he goes fishing, and he plans to use the van for that sort of thing, or that type of thing. If he gets a puncture, I thought I would check the spare wheel. Not only is the spare wheel flat, but these bolts I don't think have ever been out. If you've got a Caddy and you want the spare wheel to actually come out at the roadside with a silly little bar like that, you need to prepare yourself. There's 2 bolts that hold the spare wheel under tray up. One of them only needs to come undone a little bit, because then you slide the bar over to lower it, but one needs to come all the way out. What a pain these are. I weren't expecting this first thing in the morning. I've got my wire brush up behind here. I've already scrubbed it a little bit. I'm then going to turn 180 degrees. Oh my God, it's locked up. Oh. Oh. That's very tight, and I've got quite a big bar here. Wire brush it again. Then we've got loads of lubricant. If there's a seized bolt, normally I'll go back and forward, but if you do that on this, the captive nut that's welded to the motor, the back and forth movement ends up snapping the captive nut off. And then you've got to cut it out, put a nut and bolt in it, weld the nut on. It's a nightmare. Oh. There's something about being at this angle that is really tiring. So rather than me puffing and panting and wheezing in the video, I'm going to do it off camera basically. I believe this one's lubed up enough. I've undone this one enough, so now I'm going to lube it up and wind that one back in I'm gonna get this one all the way out, wire wheel it, copper grease it, bang it back in, but the spare is flat. So I'm gonna get one of his old wheels and stick it under here. We'll get it outside and have a walk round because it's done. And I'm giving it back today. I need to wash it, but I'm having a minute. Done the spare wheel. That went to plan. It now buzzes in and out nice and easily. Pulled it off the ramp or off the blocks, and as I pulled it off the blocks I could feel a bit of movement as I pushed the brake pedal. Got it back on the blocks, back on the ramp, checked the front wishbones. Hadn't checked them before. Got the lever bar on it, rear wishbone bush on the front, absolutely hanging. Trying to give this back today, desperate to get rid of it so I can get on with the missus one. Got a new wishbone on it, happy days. Pulled it out here to wash it and then noticed the rear parking sensors bleeping like mad, literally going for it. Walked round the back, and as I lowered the spare wheel under tray, I must have hooked on one of the wires for the rear parking sensors and pulled it out. So that was sat inside the bumper. So then I had to drop the rear bumper off just to put the parking sensor back in. And I'm sure you can imagine the language that come out of my mouth wasn't video friendly. So me going the extra mile and helping him out with the spare wheel actually bit me in the backside. How many times have you done that? Gone to help a mate and it's ended up costing you a lot more than you bargained for. I'm using the Iron Buster from Sidecare from Bonhoff, and this stuff is so good. I don't think this has ever been washed. The amount of yellow marks that are on it, you can see it a lot on a yellow motor, on a white motor should I say, are literally turning brown, purple as we speak. I don't need to do the wheels. I need to wash it. Not going to bore you with washing a motor. You see me do it a lot. You know, I'm basically a detailer. I'm going to wash it. We'll have a little walk round it. And then I'm going to finally get rid of it. Let me wash it. Poverty spec, basic work van maxi. And bang. Check that out. How good does that look? I'm super happy, and I know the owner's happy because he's been down to have a look. Let's have a little walk round it. Now, the bits I've painted are slightly whiter, and fun fact that wasn't so fun, I have painted all the white bits twice. First time I was really unhappy, so I took them all off, rubbed them down again, and then I sent the petrol flap away to be matched. Done them second time and I'm a lot happier, but the bits I have painted are slightly whiter. I will explain something when we walk round. We've got the 19-inch Riviera wheels, bought from Anton, TMG, big shout out to him, super easy process. Check out tmgvans.shop, and if you buy something from TMG, mention DTE TV, you get a little discount code and I get some brownie points. We got the mirrors and the rail covers from Julian Green. I will put a link, or all links, in the video description. Lower bars, upper bars, colour-coded handles, rub strips. Bit of tint on the lights. We've lowered it. Colour-coded bumpers back and front. We've got a random cat that's not my cat. Black badges, new number plates. When I picked it up from the show, he come over and had a look and he said, "Oh, I really like them raised number plates." Got you some raised number plates, no charge. Yeah, what an absolute van it's turned out to be. Some small subtle changes have turned it from a work van into something that's DTE approved. Let me just explain what I was going on about with the paint. Can you see the line there? So this is original bright white. This has been painted and someone's soft edge off there. So you can see their darker paint against the original lighter paint. Now, my paint is lighter, like this one. If this quarter hadn't been painted, or had been painted with a better colour, my stuff would have looked better. I don't normally point out flaws, but I wanted to mention it because there's going to be some keyboard warrior. You've used the wrong white. If you squint, brother John, she's mint. And look, in 6 months' time, all of the paint will be a bit bleached from the sun. You'd never notice. We're only looking at the fresh white bits because I'm pointing them right out. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. We got the fog light conversion from AliExpress, a little bit of blacker tint on the headlights. I did also black up his badges. We've obviously glossed up the grills. I'm going to give it one more quick wipe around. Yeah, very nice. I've cleaned the cab on the inside. I've swept and hoovered out in the back. It's literally fresh and ready for him to start using it. Little wipe of the grills because the watermarks do land on it. It's a bit annoying. We haven't got any posh water down here. RO water, is that it for you detailing guys? No, we're straight out the tap, cousin Keith. Poverty spec. So if some of you are thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind my van having a little makeover like that, I'm sorry, at the moment I can't help. You would have to get in touch with Anton again, tmgvans.shop. He does all the services that I've done on this van and he will hook you up, no problem. I have got to get on with the Mrs. Caddy. It's right over there, full build series, but I'm not going to do like 20 build videos. There's going to be about 3. The missus is nagging me. Well, she ain't nagging me, but she keeps asking, so I know she really wants it, so I've got no spare time. Anyway, we're done with this one. I'm going to drop it off to the customer, get some valuable parking spaces back, and get on with the next one. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.